King Solomon once said that what has been will be again. What has been done will be done again. There is nothing new under the sun. But as we often think that our technological age is filled with wonder, we must do a deep introspective dive into our self-created AI death loop. A McKinsey research study predicts that up to 90% of online content could be synthetically generated by the end of 2026. But will it be quality content? As we know, AI relies on data sets, but what happens when that data set continuously cuts out humans? I guess we end up with this crazy process. The prompt was, recreate the image and don't change anything. Let's rewind for a second and define data sets for all AI deep learning. First, the surveillance economy, in which all our data has been collected for years, and along with it, every other type of data known to man. Data sets are structured and sometimes just a hot mess of collection of info, images, text, sounds, you name it. And here's where AI data labeling humans, yes, humans, sit and do the shitty task of identifying, labeling, tagging, and organizing hot dog and not hot dog pictures.
Pizza. Let's do pizza.
Yeah.
Pizza. Okay. Hey, Zach.
Not hot dog?
Unfortunately, some of these tech workers are also exposed to all types of content to annotate.
Naftali was assigned to train AI to recognize and weed out pornography, hate speech, and excessive violence, which meant sifting through the worst of the worst content online for hours on end.
I looked at people being slaughtered, people engaging in sexual activity with animals, people abusing children physically, sexually, people committing suicide.
All day long?
Yes, all day long. 8 hours a day, 40 hours a week.
And they do this annotation for less than $4 an hour.
It's easy to see how you're trapped. Kenya is trapped. They need jobs so desperately that there's a fear that if you complain, if your government complained, then these companies don't have to come here.
These data annotation gigs are at the center of the AI death loop. For the past 3 years, fear of job loss has dominated the conversation around AI. But recently, some of those same jobs are starting to come back.
AI can write functions, structures, and algorithms based on learned patterns, but it does not understand business objectives. As a result, companies have begun rehiring employees who were previously laid off. It is estimated that up to 4 out of 10 new hires are software developers who are former employees of companies that have laid them off after replacing them with AI.
I want you back. It's a catchy tune. And it's also an increasingly popular hiring trend. It's what's called boomerang hire. 35% of new hires being made up of past employees.
So we are left with the staggering question, now what? So if the tech giants have their way,
intelligence is a utility.
Intelligence is a utility.
Like electricity or water, and people buy it from us.
Buy it from us.
On a meter.
On a meter. On a meter.
Think about it. Humans do a job. We collect data on how that job is done, and eventually AI becomes capable enough to handle it for a while. Then the mistakes pile up and humans have to step back in to correct them.
We love when things like this happen, actually, because it's often an opportunity to understand something we didn't know about the system.
Humans have to step back in to correct them, retrain the system, and clean up the errors. So in a strange way, we're training AI to replace us, while simultaneously becoming dependent on fixing the problems it creates. And that keeps us trapped in the loop.